Hi guys, sorry about that. It's part two. I'm back. Let's see if this will come up on live again for me. It's going to get it up live. Here we go. My apologies. There's no one watching now. Got some comments there, so I'll read your comments. A few back, and I'll just apologise. Sorry guys, take my Man City hat off. Now my missus has just arrived in London, so she wanted to speak to the kids before they go to bed. Sorry guys. Hi Mukund, hi the Saints. So I apologise again. It's just one of those things, you know. End of the day, there's nothing more important than your family and life. So I hope you guys are understanding. Oh, Argentina 2-0 up. Sergio. Well, there you go. Sergio Aguero, top man. Just gonna get a little bit of sugar-free Ribena, or no added sugar Ribena down my neck. Yeah, I think I'll be a bit quiet now. Just give it a couple of minutes to get people on. Ray Ballow's back. Kun Aguero, hey, is Kun the man? Kun is the man. I love Kun Aguero. He's got. He's the man. I mean, look, see pictures of him with his girlfriend. He's got a lovely son. He's playing for the best team in the land and all the world. He's a great, fantastic goal scorer. He's scored so many goals for City. He's a top guy. But Kund, it's all good, Ray family. Always first, absolutely. Take your time, Ray. Don't worry, it's all good. I've got 9 of you back on. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get through these topics, and then we'll get on to the old chit chat with you guys. Yeah. So I'll summarise the Harry Maguire. Rumoured that Man United and Man City are willing to pay 80 million for him, but City are going to blow United out of the water by paying £280,000 a week for Harry Maguire on a contract, which I just can't accept. Cheers, Edward, Sir Stade Francais Rugby Top. I just can't believe that City are going to pay 280 grand a week for Harry Maguire, which is, I think, more than the basic that Kevin De Bruyne gets. More than anybody at City. Why would we pay Harry Maguire 280 grand a week when I'd be surprised if Harry Maguire could just be on 80 grand a week now, you know? And if United wanted to, they could blow us out of the water. If they're paying Alexis Sanchez 400 grand a week, they're rumoured to be willing to pay Pogba 500 grand a week. So if they wanted Harry Maguire and it was just down to money, then they could blow us out of the water if they're really desperate for him. So I don't buy that. I don't really can't buy that. And that's going to lead me on. That's going to lead me on to my next topic, which is the Liverpool Echo. Okay? Liverpool Echo. Now, I'm going to read you the headline that I saw. And to be honest, Liverpool Echoes are, forgive me, Chris, it's a bit of a comic. Yeah? With Jonathan Pearce. I can't remember, what do I call him? Pudding Pearce. Cheap insult, I'm afraid, but here we go. Okay, here's the thing. So, Man City. So this is their headline: Man City, Harry Maguire, and why Liverpool can make a transfer statement without signing anyone. Subheadline: Liverpool raised the bar when they signed Van Dijk, meaning Man City now have to gamble on Maguire. That's interesting. Start to think about that. So, at least they talked about trying to land the Holy Grail. At least now, a month ago, all that mattered was the Champions League. Now, or a few weeks ago, sorry. Now they admit that the Holy Grail is the Premier League title. And it talks about if reports are to be believed, City are going to sign Harry Maguire for 80 million quid and pay him wages of 280 grand a week. And it says, if completed, it'll be a deal that will blow Liverpool's 75 million deal for Virgil van Dijk out of the water. It's only 5 million quid. And make Maguire the world's most expensive defender, as well as City's record signing. Now, Maguire is an accomplished defender and an impressive individual, but is he really in the same bracket as Liverpool's number 4? It's debatable. Many sniggered when Liverpool paid 75 million to convince Southampton to part with the Dutchman, but Klopp's faith in Van Dijk and determination to push through a move has been more than vindicated since he arrived at Anfield. Determination to push through for a move. I thought he was going on strike. So now, going on strike is classed as determination to push through a move. Yeah? But Raheem Sterling, when he wanted to leave Liverpool and come to Man City, he was a rat. Even the ex-Liverpool players called him a rat, or words to that effect. The Liverpool fans called him a lot worse. Interesting. It would be dangerous to do the same with Maguire, but City know it's a huge gamble. Okay? Maguire could prove to be a success, but the fact that City are having to pay such a fee, as well as dishing out the type of wages being talked about, shows how Liverpool raised the bar by signing Van Dijk. City are essentially having to pay a premium based on the success of Van Dijk at Anfield. It's all about us. Similar to the way Chelsea were forced to quickly break Liverpool's world record 65 million fee for Alisson Becker when bringing in Kepa Arrizabalaga. I'll get his name right. Kepa Arrizabalaga. There you go. Kepa Arrizabalaga for 71 million last summer. No. I will straight away say that's false. Okay? Chelsea were not forced to break that 65. They were not forced to go above it. That was the release clause for Kepa Arrizabalaga. That was his release clause. Okay? It worked out at 71 million quid. And it wasn't that they had to beat Liverpool, or the selling club forced them to go above that because Liverpool had set the bar. No, Liverpool hadn't set the bar. Liverpool had set the bar on a bloody expensive goalkeeper. But it didn't mean that Kepa's team, call him Kepa, or should we call him Arrizabalaga, didn't mean that his team had to raise it to such a level to say, look, Liverpool have bought Alisson for this money, so Kepa must be worth more. No. What had happened was they put an absolutely ridiculous buyout clause in his contract, not expecting anybody to go for it. That's what they tend to do. I think they'd only paid 20 million for him. They put ridiculously high buyout clauses, not expecting anybody to go for them. Okay? There's some clubs, was it Barcelona bought this kid and put a 500 million euro buyout clause because of what happened with Neymar. You've got to put a buyout clause. So now they're putting ridiculous ones. So because of what happened with Neymar, because they never thought someone would pay 200 million euros, that's what they did. So, no. Chelsea had to pay so much for Kepa because that was what his release clause said. Nothing to do with Alisson. Absolutely nothing to do with Alisson. But the Liverpool Echo have to make it about them. Here we go. Here's interesting. They talk a little bit about stats. But there's only one stat that really matters. Last season, Liverpool conceded just 22 Premier League goals, keeping 21 clean sheets in the process, more than any other side. A large part of that was down to Van Dijk's influence. For Guardiola to sanction such a deal shows how far the City manager is willing to go in the pursuit of perfection. And with the likes of John Stones, Nicholas Ottoman and Merritt Laporte already in his ranks, how serious he's taking Liverpool's challenge for City's title next season. I'm glad you say it's our title, Glad you say that. Some people don't seem to have forgotten. See, it's half and half. It's half correct because it pursued to perfection. But we just lost Vinny Company. We've got to replace him with somebody. Yeah. It's not how serious we look at Liverpool. We're picking another very good centre back in our opinion. And whilst it is tempting to be jealous of City's moves in the market, Liverpool fans will do well to remember that Klopp's squad doesn't have any glaring weaknesses. I don't know. I mean, Liverpool didn't win the title last season. They could do with some improvement. Let's have a quick look. Liverpool's issues aren't pressing. The squad does need strengthening, but they can allow City to take all the gambles. And if they backfire, you can bet on Klopp's side being well placed to take advantage when the season gets underway again in August. I mean, that's just preaching to the converted, It's for the sheep, I'm afraid. And I mean, my point is this. They say Liverpool don't need to have any transfers, yeah? And Liverpool can make a transfer without signing anyone. But guys, you've got to remember, there's one really, really important thing. City won the league last season with 98 points. Okay? And City aren't gambling on anybody. City have to replace Vincent Kompany. Okay? So it's just, I'm going to delete that from my thing because it's a story full of holes. It's a very weak story, let's say. Let's go up to read some of your comments. So anyway, that's my Liverpool Echo, my rant of the day about the Liverpool Echo and their rubbish that they've written. One is from Whiskers. Hey Ray, this Harry Maguire news just can't be true. I don't believe it. I said so. I can't believe we'd pay Harry Maguire more than we'd pay Kevin De Bruyne. Just don't buy it. Don't believe that Harry Maguire, not on those wages. Absolutely. Joel Haaland, missed what happened. Can I get a quick feeling? Yeah, we talked about Harry Maguire and the fact that it's reported in a couple of papers that City are going to pay 80 million to get him from Leicester, and that we're going to blow United away with the wages and pay 280 grand a week, which is a lot more than KDB's on. KDB's our top earning player. Are we going to bring a new player in on more than him? It's not going to happen. Leroy Sane, when he came, he was on 60 grand a week. Danilo was in the same sort of region. We're getting players in for 60 to 80 grand a week. Okay? Now, you could argue Harry Maguire's a good player, he's an England centre-back, and 200 grand. Why are we offering him 280? I just don't buy it. And as I said, he might come, but the story's a stinker for me. Same as that Liverpool Echo story, that City are desperate to pay this to get Maguire, and if Liverpool don't buy anybody, that can still be successful. Well, heads up guys, you didn't win the league last season, you know. We won the league and we still went out and by so many points the season before, and we still went out and bought somebody. Chris Welch, James Pearce's called, right, and he's leaving too. Hey, James Pearce's going, maybe you'll get someone sensible. And actually, I've got to say, the guy who wrote this piece, his name was Mr. Rimmer. Now make of that, of what you will, and make up your own jokes on that. Edward Blackshaw, not worth 80 million, absolutely. They sounds like propaganda paper, absolutely. And that's what it is. It is. And then what you're going to get is vociferous Liverpool fans on social media talking about this and saying as if it's true and yeah, we don't need to buy. You just get journalists who say stuff and people follow blindly and get hoodwinked. Same way you can get YouTubers saying stuff and people believe them and get hoodwinked. It's ridiculous. So, James Pearce now. Chris Welch. I only believe rumours when it's all official on Sky Sports. So I don't read likes of Liverpool Echo. Yeah, Liverpool Echo's crap, you know. It's got very little respect out there. Harry's Beluga. Don't know what that means, Muckund. Adam, hey, how you doing, buddy? Uno Septum, no weaknesses. What about the wind? Bernard Deneen, back. Yeah, sorry, mate. My wife, you know, it's quite late. And normally it's not an issue, but she's she travelled down to London, so she just want to say good night to the kids before they went to sleep. Chris, yeah, all teams need to strengthen. I've always said if you stand still, you go backwards, yeah? And you've got to keep moving forwards because other people will keep moving forwards. JW16, 80 million is way too much for a Maguire. Yep, I agree. But couldn't Argentina go through as expected to beat Qatar? Reshi Mansell Banton, I'm friends with Harry Maguire's sister and I asked her, she says she's not sure but doesn't think it will happen. I don't think he'll come to us for that. I can see him going to United for that. I can honestly see him going to United for that. United have got the money to blow us out of the water if they wanted to. We won't spoil our wage structure. Bernardini won't pay above our wage structure for Maguire. Absolutely. That's why I just don't believe this. You know, we would not smash our wage structure for Matis de Ligt. We wouldn't smash it for anybody. We wouldn't smash it for Alexis Sanchez. So why would we do it for Harry Maguire? You know, I just don't buy that. And we wanted Sanchez. You know, we could, guys, and this is for the Liverpool Echo as well, Mr. Rimmer. You know, last season, how many games did Vinny play? He played 5 or 6 at the end. But he didn't play a lot of league games. We had a lot of time with Stormzy at the start. We had Nico playing. And without looking how many games did Vinny play, not a lot. You know, in the last 5 seasons, Vinny's played about 60 or 70 league games, tops. So we got by without Vinny for most of last season anyway, with the personnel we had. So why can't we get through without him again with the personnel we've got? I don't buy all that. Yeah. Bernardine Arnold Rimmer more like, from Red Dwarf. Deneen up the Zigoratzi Lichty split lol. The Sane Red Dwarf, what a show. Yeah, it was very good. Should have been called Blue Dwarf. Wine is fine, whiskey's quicker. I don't even think City is desperate like that idiotic article. Not when you have someone like Eric Garcia, Torsin, Philip Sandler available. Pep rates Garcia high. Yeah, Pep said in the summer tournament last pre-season tour in America last summer when Garcia was I think 17 and Pep said he was playing like a 23 or 24-year-old. You know, and I saw Garcia play. He looked so confident, so self-confident, so mature. He knew where the danger was going to be just before that danger arrived, and he was always in the right place. He struck me, you know, as having the potential to be a really, really very good player. And I think Pep says the same. And we can, as I've also said, we can play Fernandinho in defence if we need to, at a push, you know. So I think we've already got enough personnel. Yes, would I like another top-class, world-class defender, centre-back? Of course. Okay, let's move on. Leroy Sane, very, very short Leroy Sane. There's not a lot to say about Leroy. Apparently it's that, you know, apparently he's told his friends he's not going to go to Bayern Munich. That's the story. Anybody can say that. He's told his friends. You know, for me, it's just a euphemism for a made-up story. And it's an excuse. You can lie and say, well, we had this tip-off from a friend. You know, it's an easy one to lie, or a club source, but we can't name our sources. Easy lies. Don't believe them. Cancelo, Danilo. Now, the rumour that I saw today in the Italian media was that City were going to buy Cancelo and Danilo was going to go the other way. Now, if you remember, Cancelo's a young right back. We're rumoured to be paying about 55 million quid for him. And it could be a good deal overall because we'll let Danilo go. We'll have to pay just a little bit of money for Cancelo. And the rumour is we wanted around 20 to 25 million for Danilo. I think he's worth it. Very versatile player, and I really don't want him to go because he can play left back, right back, defensive midfield if you want, and even centre back. I think he played a little bit of a game there last season. So I think he's very flexible, very versatile, and generally doesn't let you down. So. Well, another one. We'll see what happens in the next few days about Cancelo. Matis de Ligt. We talked about Matis de Ligt. I mean, the rumour is that he's going to go to Juventus now. I just can't believe the any reasoning behind it apart from money. I mean, Areola. I can't believe there's any other reason why he'd not go to Barcelona or City. Because, yeah, Juve might win the league title in Italy, but do you really want to go and play under Maurizio Sarri? Is that your dream? You know? I don't think so. And what are Juve's chances of winning the Champions League? I think they're small. I really do think they're small. So I don't see the point. Unless his boyhood, his dream is to play with Ronaldo or something, or Bonucci, or Chiellini. Who knows? That might be his dream. Let's look at a few more of your things before my last point. Soda 28. I can confirm Sane don't want Bayern. I hope so. Cobby. Sorry, Cobby. Yeah, my wife phoned me because she arrived in London and she wanted to speak to her kids, say good night to them, and before they went to sleep, they were already in bed. But he wants Juve, Barcelona, or Real. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Saying watch that very first episode. It all sets up for you. Wine signing was just quicker. I would like adding a world-class centre back, but to spend 80 million and 280k a week is just not worth it. Yeah, it would. I mean, I just can't see us doing it. And as I said, it's easy for a paper to put out a story and that they don't have to verify or support, and there's no accountability. Yeah, absolutely no accountability for that. If City come out and say, well, that's a total lie, it's a fabrication, prove it's true, and they can't prove it true, then their credibility is shot. But no one comes out and says this, and it's a real disappointment to me. I want some honesty and transparency there. Let's have a look. The Sane, back to football, and anyone gives Sheffield United a chance. Why not? Why not? Has you got Chris Wilder? Why can't you stay up? You know, Cardiff almost stayed up. I mean, look at that Chelsea game when they were hard done by. They didn't miss out by much. Cardiff, could have stayed up. So anything can happen. You just got to work at it. Bernard said it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but you just never know. Get that team spirit, that camaraderie. You didn't get up from the championship by luck. You played bloody well. So, you just got to keep that commitment, keep that unit together. I would not do what Fulham did and add 7 or 8 players, spend 100 million and then struggle to integrate those players and work out your best team. Personally, I would just get 3 or 4 decent players, either ex-Premier League, or pick some from the carcasses of the team that have gone down. Pick some of the better players that they've got, nick 3 or 4 of them, integrate them into what side you had last season, and I'd go with that. And hopefully that small, tight-knit group and team spirit will get you through. Muckin, I want to forget about Sane. If he leaves, he leaves. Yeah, absolutely. If he goes, he goes. Bernard, Sheffield United probably needs Sean Bean up front with a mosquito sword. Oh, Bernard, you're a card, mate. Wine is fine, whiskers quicker. I actually wish City would do that. Come out and refute these. I really do. I would love someone to come out and say, oh, this is a lie. It's just made up. For any story. It's very rare. But there's a player in the Championship, I think he came out and said a story had been made up by Sky Sports about him. But because he was in the Championship or League One, they didn't get much coverage. But, which is a shame. It really is a shame that no one had come out and followed that up and showed them for the liars that they are. Chris Welch, I have to see what you do in the transfer window. I say Huddersfield set up unexpectedly in 2017-18. Yeah, Aaron Moy, ex-City player, really helped them there. See, that's why I say you could go and get someone like Aaron Moy, maybe for 5 million quid or 10 million quid. Spend 40, 50 million quid on 4 or 5 players maximum. Do not get more than 4 or 5 players in different positions. Maybe someone to help with the spine of your team. Maybe a goalie. Maybe get Cardiff's goalie. Get a centre back. Maybe two defenders, a midfielder, and a striker. There has to be decent players at Cardiff. There were decent players at other teams that went down. Even Fulham. I mean, Fulham will have to get rid of some players, and you can go in there. Look, did they have Mitrovic? I don't think he'd go to Sheffield United, but there are players there that can do a very, very good job in the Premier League, and why not just get some of them? And maybe try and get one piece of stardust as well. And then hope for the best. Joel, what's happening with Ligt? Well, the strong rumours are that he's going to Juventus. And someone asked me yesterday or today, why would he do that? And I said, for me, it's just a short-term money game. That's it. If he goes to Barcelona now or City now, he could stay there for 15 years. There's no money in that for Mino Raiola. Okay, now if he goes to Juventus, Mino Raiola might get 15 or 20 million euros out of that. Okay, and then in 2 or 3 years' time, if he gets the kid to move on to Barcelona, Mino Raiola might get another 20 million euros out of that. So you want your player not to go to the top, but to take a stepping stone. Is that in the best interest of the player? I'm not so sure. Is it in the best interest of Mino Raiola? Get paid twice, maybe even 3 times, instead of once? If you're chasing money, you know what you do. Bielsa? I don't think they're going to go for Bielsa, Mukund. Yeah, Mukund, that's it. The clubs don't want to rub up the media wrong way because the media can, they are big influences, and the Man City have spent, and I said this before, I said it last year, we've spent over 10 years, now 11 years, buttering up the media, being nice to them, and everything else. And there's still great swathes, huge sections of the media that are abusive to City, its fans. Matthew Syed called us, I think, sewer rats. We've been called all sorts of things. That's the fans, the owner, the chairman, or the club, or whatever. All sorts of stuff. And I just don't understand why we are still on this charm offensive and trying to be nice to them when they're just stabbing us. They're not even stabbing us in the back. They're walking in front of you and slapping you in the face. So I would love the club just to say enough's enough. We're at the top. Let's not care what people say. let's just sort people out. That is just no added sugar Ribena. I just needed a drink. I've been drinking coffee and I've run out of decaf coffee, so I'm on the strong stuff. And I want to get some sleep tonight. I'm knackered. I was up at 5 o'clock. Basically on the Skyping at 5:30 in the morning, talking football from 5:30 in the morning. So it's a very, very busy day. Aye, it's good for you. It's better than drinking sugary drinks. I've said I've done really well since Friday. I've not had any desserts. I don't have sugar most of the time anyway, but I've avoided the normal chocolates, scones, crisps, biscuits, cake, any desserts. I've avoided them. I think this is my third day, and it's a hard day sometimes, very hard, but I've just said I've got to do it. I've got to do it. I'd rather eat a lot of good food, healthy food, than eat even a little bit of crap. My kids are offering me sweets, and I say no. And the thing is, I've got a very big sweet tooth, and I say no. I'm gonna really try and work hard. Wine is fine, whiskers quicker. Also, because with these rumours, players, agents, and teams use the supposed link, City link as leverage to raise the price. Absolutely, mate. They're just pushing the prices up using City's name. Everybody who's moving, seems to have a link to City. City are interested. I mean, to be honest, if we were interested in all the players that have been linked to us, we'd start the season with 100 players next year. It is quite frankly ridiculous. But couldn't I die without sugar? Just the thought, mate. I've got to be honest. Teas and coffees aren't the same, okay? But I'm saving a few hundred calories a day by not having sugar. So, I'd be dead if I'd be so fat basically. I'd be in trouble if I was having 200 or 300 calories a day from sugar. It'd be just crazy. Oh, cheers, Bernard. You do know actually sweet talk people. Come on, we've been on for a bit now. I think that's another half an hour. Just give us a couple of questions. Let's get another couple of minutes in because I'd like some sleep tonight. I've got to watch Top Gear. I think Top Gear might. It looked okay last week. I think Freddie Flintoff looked a bit wooden. But yeah, I want to see that. See if it can, get a good rapport between the presenters and hopefully provide some light-hearted entertainment. JG United, hey Ray, good evening. What did we talk about in the first video? The first video, we'd only got to talking about Harry Maguire and then just chatting between subscribers and myself. So it was really just about Harry Maguire, which we've repeated about Harry Maguire. The 80 million and 280 grand a week is just preposterous. It's just too much. Hi, Cheshire Homebrew, how you doing? Let's see what you say. Good evening, Ray. Do you ever sleep? No. Honestly, I did a stream this morning. I said, you're a long time dead. I can sleep when I'm dead. Up at 5. I'll go to bed tonight, probably well after midnight, because I've got Top Gear to watch, a few other things to do. I'll be up at 6:20 at the latest, probably up 5. I'll probably up at 5 tomorrow because I want to do my kids' ironing. I like to iron all the clothes for the week, the shirts and trousers and vests and whatever they're wearing, sports stuff. Get that done for the week. Put it to bed. And a few things for myself. That's the week sorted out. And then hopefully I'll get them down to school and go to the gym, do a bit of boxing on the punch bag, do a bit of weights, and then get home hopefully about 10, half 10, and get cracking on a busy day. Joel Hanlon, United linked to Weimar. Yeah, Joel, United, when Liverpool Echo and others have said City have blown United out of the water with our wage offer, 280. Look, United are already, and that's higher than anybody Man City's getting. United are already paying Pogba at least 350 grand a week. They're paying the piano man, Alexis Sanchez, 400 grand a week. And they're threatening to pay Pogba 500 grand a week to make him stay. So why can't they blow us out the water on the transfer, on the wages? I just don't buy it. Jealousy, let's have a look. The fans of other clubs would love to have owners like our. Jealousy comes to mind. You'll have 1,000 subscribers at starts. I hope so. Cheshire Homebrew. I'm almost at 500. I think I'll, if I can, my aim is to get at least 10 a day. If I can get 10 a day, I'll just be knocking on the door by the time of the start of the season. And I'd like to get them before the Community Shield, but I'm sure by the first game of the season away at West Ham, we'll be knocking on the door of 1,000, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. What's the Saint said? As a neutral, this all money slurs getting old now. All clubs have spent fortunes for decades before the City had any money. Yeah. And Bernard Saint well said. Look, I said it this morning, I think Liverpool were a club formed just to make money. Okay, lots of teams in the 1800s and early 1900s were formed as a way to get men to stop fighting with each other and play sport. Or they were linked to churches and social clubs and stuff like that. Liverpool, okay, Anfield, Everton used to play at Anfield, okay, and the owner of the ground, because they paid rent there, didn't own the ground, he wanted more rent or something like that. So instead of paying the money, they left. They went across Stanley Park to Goodison Park, and they set up Everton Football Club there. So set up the ground there, sorry. And so this owner of Anfield, or this stadium, had no tenants, so no one to pay the rent. So he formed the club. Now, I think within 10 years, they were league champions. But he formed the club simply to make money. That's it. And you go through the history, you know, Liverpool had the Pools money, you know, and they got Shankly from Huddersfield, and they give him a lot of money, you know, when he came, in terms of helping improve the infrastructure and stuff. But, you know, and they've had money for many, many years. United had lots of money. Chelsea had lots of money. Yeah, Blackburn had lots of money. A lot of these teams that have won the Premier League, especially, have had lots of money, and that there is a correlation between having lots of money, spending lots of money on players, high wages, into winning stuff. And City have just done the same. And as someone said, it's our turn. Now it's our turn. Let us enjoy it. You know, United have had their time. Arsenal had their time. Liverpool have had their time. Chelsea have had their time. It's our turn. Just let us enjoy it and enjoy the football we're playing. Chris Welsh, do you think Newcastle will get taken over? I hope for their fans they do. Not sure how much they can continue to invest in the team with FFP. But yeah, I think Mike Ashley's been there for 10 years, whether you like him or don't like him. The sad thing with the football fans, unless you're winning stuff or your owner's piling tons and tons, if your owner piles tons and tons of money in, if Mike Ashley was spending 150 million every year on transfers and Newcastle was still crap, the fans would still be on his case. He's in a no-win situation. Harry Maguire is not worth it. Absolutely. The St. Blackburn bought the league. Nobody said anything. Absolutely. You know, it was Jack Walker, local fella, done good, and they praised him. Mukund saw the cricket. I watched a little bit this morning because I was watching a little bit this morning before I went out. Obviously, I did a live stream this morning, and I was watching it when Pakistan were about 60 without loss, 61 without loss after 10 overs. And then I went to my mum's we had a barbecue at my mum's. Sun's out, gonna have a barbie. And then we went into, where did we go? We went into Manchester, went to Trafford Centre. Went to Rusholme first, actually. My wife wanted some beauty treatment. And then to then to Trafford Centre. She had an optician's appointment. And then dropped her at the station. Came back, fed my lads, and got them tucked up in bed on the live stream. So I watched a little bit. Some of it I listened to on the radio. I had to listen to a lot on the radio. JG19, I think we should just focus on keeping Otamendi, developing Garcia, and next season bring in a centre-back, I think, who can manage. Yeah, I mean, that's another way to do it, is to keep what we've got, develop the other players. Because, I mean, could we have won the title last season with Otamendi, Stones and Laporte? Possibly. Yeah, it's better with company, but possibly we could have done it. And, you know, bringing Eric Garcia and Philip Sander through, and if Tosin comes back, and as I said, Fernandinho can play there as well. So we've got three decent centre-backs, and maybe we can work with those three and bring Garcia through, and then Otamendi can leave, and then we might have another kid to come through, and Garcia might have proven his worth, and then we don't even need to go out and buy anybody. I mean, Garcia could be on Mathis de Ligt. We have no idea. Give him a chance. They're saying 500 grand for saying you want out. Absolutely, mate. You know, wow. So you guys go and see your employers tomorrow and tell them you want out and see if they give you a pay rise. I mean, what a dumb club United are. Bernard, don't mention cricket. I'm 4 days behind watching. I've not watched a lot. Don't watch England, Bernard, then. Don't watch England against Sri Lanka. Bernard, this is why cricket is dying. Bernard, believe Huddersfield is in 30s when 1-3 on the trot because of money, yeah. And then didn't they lose Herbert Chapman to Arsenal? Cheshire Homebrew, because Arsenal came in, and, he didn't go because he fancied going to London and playing managing Arsenal. Money comes into it. Cheshire Homebrew just trust Pep. He knows what he's doing. Really enjoying it. Cheers, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, look, the reason I'm on for so long is it's a fantastic interaction with you guys. You put forward some good questions, some very difficult questions and testing questions, and it's a lot of fun, even when I'm tired. Wine is fine, Wicks is quicker. That's the funny part when they criticise it because of money. AC Milan is a historic big club, but they had a corrupt owner in Berlusconi, and Real Madrid a fascist owner, but that's okay, absolutely. Other clubs, you don't look how they got there. You don't look how they got there to be this historic club with all this, that and the other. Now, if you go look at how Juventus got that, some of there, yeah, in the recent times with all this match fixing. What's the back-to-back record to win Prem? Don't understand the question, Joel. Our back-to-back. I think United have done it 3 times. I'd love to get it 3 times next season. It'd be fantastic. Bernard, I've deleted. Yeah, Bernard. It would really brass you off. You know the result. It's not worth watching if you're a big England fan. And England actually went in as favourites. And if I'm right, because I've not been following the table very well, they've got New Zealand to play, they've got Australia to play, and India. And it's unlikely, but conceivably, they could lose those 3 games. And they could go out. And for instance, I was listening on the radio today, if Pakistan win their last 3 games, and I think they're against New Zealand, Bangladesh, and who's the one against? Afghanistan. England would be out. Could well be out. In fact, if England win 1 game and Pakistan win 3, England will be out. Wow. If England lose all 3 games against... it can happen against New Zealand, Australia and India. If England lose them all... I think I got my games right. Then Pakistan could beat Bangladesh and Afghanistan and qualify. Wow. It's odd, it's crazy, but I still expect England to win enough games to qualify with New Zealand, who are almost there. India and Australia, I can't see past them. 3 in a row, I don't know what that is, sorry. Yes, 3 in a row Premier League titles. Mucken, what sports do I watch? To be honest, I watch so much football, I don't get time for others. When I was a kid, I'd watch everything except horse racing. I watched everything. Golf, football, cricket, rugby league, rugby union. Any sport that was on telly, on ITV's World of Sport, on Grandstand, on the BBC, I would just watch everything. Rallycross, motocross, cycling, any sport I would watch, but I didn't like horse racing. Now, I used to watch Formula 1, I don't watch Formula 1 anymore. I don't watch rugby anymore. I'm not that interested. Football is my main thing. I watch a little bit, I do watch cricket. I watch cricket whenever I can, if I think the game's going to be good. But off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I watch a little bit of tennis now and again. But the big sports, I used to watch wrestling, but not that. I don't watch that anymore. Boxing, I'll watch boxing from time to time, and I watch a bit of snooker from time to time, but not the way I watched so much as a kid. My Saturday mornings would turn up at 9 o'clock or whatever, get up at 7, and 9 o'clock sit in front of the telly all the way through till 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. That's it. Watch, and I used to watch the test matches. I used to watch them all day long in the summer holidays. That's all I'd watch. We used to have a TV in that corner, we had a gas fire there. I put my feet on top of the gas fire, put a chair there, didn't care who I was blocking. I watched cricket all day long. That's what I used to do. Because my dad was into cricket. My dad used to play cricket at a very good level. And kind of rubbed off onto me. Cheshire, who's to say Liverpool can keep it up? They may not be as good. This is absolutely. But could England versus India final? Could well be. Madam, never understand the rules of cricket. You just need to watch it for a little bit. Do you like hockey? I played it a couple of times, but I don't watch it anymore. I like a bit more. I used to watch the ice hockey because obviously the thunderous punch ups and everything else. Cheshire Homebrew still our biggest rivals. Liverpool will be our biggest rivals. Muckun, I just don't understand the rules of golf. Muckun, the basic rule is you got to hit that ball with that stick into the hole and take as few shots as possible. What don't you understand? Okay, there are some other rules along the way, but that's the basic tenet to the game of golf. Chris Welsh, you think City will reach 90 points? Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Look, City won in the last 2 seasons 32 games each season. Now, if, for argument's sake, City win 28 games, okay, and draw 6, lose 4, we'll get 90 points. So 90 points looks like it's doable again. I didn't think we'd get 100 points last season, but I think we'll get, someone's going to have to get more than 90 points to win the league next season. I'm sure of it. Mike James says Herbert Chapman was the one who created Arsenal's white sleeves. Prior to that, their shirt was all red. He wanted the shirt to stand next, so he made the sleeves white. I didn't know that, Mike. Interesting point. Thanks very much. Bernard just watched India-Pakistan at Old Trafford highlights. Thought it was my... Yeah, they said apparently they reckon up to 1 billion people around the world watched that game. A very one-sided game. Pakistan don't have the mentality. The Sane, Cheshire, absolutely. You got to be the brilliant to stay with you. Yeah, absolutely. Chris Baker, 3 consecutive league titles in English records. Huddersfield in the 30s, Liverpool, Arsenal, and the Rags. Bowls. Do I watch bowls, Mike? I used to as a kid. As a teenager, I would watch whatever sport was on telly. I'd watch it. If they had the Tiddlywinks World Championships, I'd be watching it. Whatever the sport was, ice skating, figure skating, roller skating, even fishing, darts, curling. I don't watch that anymore. That's quite boring. Whatever the sport, if it's on telly, I want to watch it. As a kid, as a growing up. Now, I just don't have the time. I used to watch volleyball, ladies beach volleyball. Nah, Paul, I'm... to be honest, I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Mukund, I find it difficult to watch boxing. Why is that, Mukund? I don't have a problem with boxing. I quite like boxing. What I do not like is the fiddles to make draws out of nothing or controversial split decisions, like Tyson Fury. No way Tyson Fury lost that fight. No way in the world. But, it's that just to make money. If Tyson Fury had won that fight, he moves on. He doesn't need to fight Deontay Wilder again. He moves on to somebody else. Because he lost, that fight gets made again. There's going to be a purse of 50, 60 million quid. It's all there for money. Is it true that there's no pro men's netball? Never heard of that, Mukund. Maybe I should start one a men's netball team and see if we get the same sort of sponsorship and money as a women's netball team. We all know the answer to that. Hey, Bernard, dirty old man. That's it, Mike. That's it. Love all sports. Anything. Whatever the sport, love it. JG19, if you could choose one current City player to keep forever, who would it be? Ooh. Well, my favourite ever City player is David Silva. So David Silva at his peak. I'd love to keep him. MotoGP, yeah, Mike, I'd watch MotoGP. Valentino Rossi, yeah. Mukund, you're all cricket. When you're a kid. Mike James, JG, David Silver, absolutely. Cheshire Homebrew, Ray's wife, Bandy Beach Volleyball. No, I would watch whatever I want, but to be honest, it's not something that... I watch sport for sport's sake, yeah? And that's the only reason I watch sport. I just love sport. But as I said, I don't watch much in athletics and stuff. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of that. I used to take part in athletics as well, races and stuff for a club. But I wouldn't watch a lot of stuff now. You might watch some of the big ones like the Olympic 100 metres and stuff like that. The Saint hated boxing as a kid, love it now. Yeah, I've always wanted to get back into it. So I'm, starting again is it's going to be nice. One lesson so far. Still here. The coach, he rang me up and said, "Are you all right?" Because he said, "I thought because we put a lot in." personal lesson. And he said, I thought your shoulders would be hurting because we were doing some work on the punch bag, and the idea was to hit it as hard as you could with these cross shots, or what were they were hooks. But all right, I said I got a little bit of pain in one of my hands from hitting that. Hitting the mitts really hard and hitting the bag really hard, but I'm all right now. Get ready for the next one next week. Bernard, I watched it. Everything else just is okay. Yeah, same here. Look, I'll watch every City game that I can. I'll watch some of the academy games. There's not much time left for anything else. Chris Welch, what do you think? Talks to Craig Bellamy as companies at the under 23s. Is it under 20s or under 18s? I can't remember. Chris, so Craig Bellamy, I did mention it in an interview. I mentioned it in a video like 2 or 3 days ago that Craig Bellamy was rumoured to be going to Anderlecht to work with Vinny. They played together for 2 seasons, I think. And I'm surprised actually a little bit because I didn't see the results of the investigation into Bellamy for alleged bullying. There's a word. For alleged bullying at Cardiff City, where he left his post in January to fight these accusations or allegations. So I've not heard of what the results from that is. But I think Vinny's just relying on the fact that he played with Craig for a couple of seasons, and that's the reason he wants him, not worried about and all the negativities surrounding him. Cheshire Humber, I love cycling. Yeah, especially the Tour de France. The thing that got me with the Tour de France and cycling, it's just all the drugs, and you just can't take it seriously. Hey, Mick McManus, yeah, we used to love Mick McManus. I liked Giant Haystacks. Because he was a baddie, a big baddie. He was the toughest, really. He could have beat Big Daddy anytime he wanted. A wrestler with the name of Shirley Crabtree. That's it. McCunn Bellamy left his last job. He resigned because of the bullying accusation. He said he wants to fight it. Favourite boxer ever? Chris Baker. Ooh, I've got 2. Okay, guys. I'll let Chris guess. I'll give you a few seconds. Guess my 2 favourite boxers. My 2 favourite boxers. JG19, I love boxing. I train in it and watch it. Ray, who do you think is going to come out on top of this heavyweight era? Tyson Fury. He's better than Deontay Wilder, but it's one of those things. Deontay Wilder's always got a puncher's chance. I don't think AJ, for whatever reason that he lost, I don't think he's been fighting the best. They've been manoeuvring AJ very well so that they can make money. That's the whole point. That's why he's not fought Deontay Wilder, I don't think. That's why he's not fought Tyson Fury. But I think Tyson Fury can come out on top. Huckleberry had lightning pace. Huckleberry? Huckabee. Paul Huckabee had lightning pace. I love Darren Huckabee. But he just didn't know what he was doing with the ball sometimes. Weinstein, Whiskers quicker. What's your thoughts on what's happening with Phil Foden and the under 21s? Boothroyd's got to go. Boothroyd has to go. How can you not start Phil Foden in the second game when you need to win it? How can you not do that? You left 2 or 3 players out. How can you do that when you need to win? And in the first game, you're winning 1-0, down to 10 men. How can you bring 2 attackers on? I just don't understand it. It is ridiculous. Old school days have gone since, we call it bullying now. Boxer Ricky Hatton for obvious reasons, and Henry Cooper when I was a kid. Wow. Mike James, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Tyson Fury, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Roy Jones Jr. Okay, I'll tell you Calzaghe. Ali. My top 2, Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson as boxers. Muhammad Ali, he had that charisma. And I remember my cousin's son, I think my cousin and his son met Muhammad Ali. He's got a signed glove. Would have loved to have that. Something like that. Tyson, for all his bad stuff, he was an awesome fighter. Awesome. And, I don't know why he ended up doing the things he did. He couldn't handle it. If he could have just stayed on the straight and narrow, you'd have had the best of all time. You know, whatever Ali says, Mike Tyson could be the best of all time. Sugar Ray Leonard or Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Balboa, Joe Bugner, Jack London. How about him? I don't know the truth of it, but what's been happening recently with older players accusing their coaches of wrongdoings. Just need to be careful with the kids they work with. Look, there was a time when a lot of stuff happened. Yeah, you know, look, the school I went to in the 80s, the teachers used to beat up the kids, and I remember some kids come back when they'd left school and beat up the teachers. It's the way it was. Cheshire Humbury all sport is like everything else in life. It's all about money. Yep, sure is these days. Chris Welch, I agree. Tyson Fury, the current best heavyweight right now. I like that Alexander Usyk too, who's next challenger, whoever wins that Joshua and Ruiz match. The Alexander Usyk, yeah, I got a photo with him. Got a few photos with him where he came to this City game after the day after he'd beaten, I think it was the day after he'd got his title, his world title, and I think he was a guest of Zinchenko, and so I met him outside the ground. I always try and talk to the people in their own language. I tried to talk Ukrainian. He did like flinch a little bit and had a look. And I did the same with Georgi Kinkladze when he was at the ground once, and I talked to him in Georgian just to say hello, and he perked up, and I got a couple of selfies with him. So, you know, it can work. Don King, I hope he's gone forever. Ali and Hagler, two more good ones. Mike James, Prince Nassim Mohammed. Yeah, I used to like Prince Nassim Mohammed. I think at one point they said he could throw 6 or 7 punches a second. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you can throw punches fast, but he was throwing different punches. I can throw the blast, which is just like that. Okay, and yes, I can throw 5 or 6 punches. I actually used to do some training like that. And you wake up in the morning and you just blast 100 shots, just to get warmed up after getting out of bed. And Prince Nassim Ham could fire a lot of. Who would win between Yaya and Vinny? I don't honestly know. Let's call it an honourable draw. Bernard didn't. Could have been a contender, absolutely, mate. Paul Murray likes Sugar Ray Leonard. Amir can't. Yeah, he can't. If the guy had stuck to focusing on boxing instead of all sorts of stupid things, he might have been a little bit better. Mike James, Ensley Bingham was a boxer and managed my Sunday League team. Hume Rangers when I was Ensley Bingham. Sounds like, I'm sure he's a black guy. Ensley Bingham, the name rings a bell. Wine Time, Whiskers with Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve. Undertaker all day long. Didn't like Steve Austin. John Conte, Hitman Hart. Giant T-Sex moved into our old house in Lower Broughton, Salford. Wow, Shakti, wow. Oh, I like Giant T-Sex. I liked him, and you knew it was a con because he was far better than the Big Daddy. Guys, I must have been on for an hour, almost an hour. So that's an hour and a half tonight. I think I better hit the sack and watch watch a little bit of Top Gear tonight. That's my treat for tonight. I've got to get up at 6 o'clock to get my kids' clothes down for school. Franny Lee versus Norman Hunter, great fight. Paul Murray. Paul Futcher dropped Larry Lloyd at Main Road, best right hook I've ever seen. The Undertaker and Paul Bearer, man, you know, you guys bring back memories. I love the British 80s, 90s middleweights. Ben, Kayla, Christy, Graham, yeah. I used to like Harold Bomber Graham. I used to love Harold Bomber Graham. And who was that other guy from Sheffield? Oh, I loved it. Oh. You know when you forget someone's name? I remember Harold Bomber Graham. He was just the silkiest guy. And then he got decked. You know, someone got a lucky punch. I just want to remember that. Was it John? No, it wasn't John. Sheffield boxer world champion. I just cannot remember. Can't remember his name. It wasn't Conte. There was a black guy. I thought he's from Sheffield. I might be wrong. I'm just trying to find something on boxing. So you've had Nassim Hamed, Harold Bomber Graham, Johnny Nelson, Paul Jones, Kel Brook from Sheffield. No, I can't remember the guy. There's a guy I remember. Forgot who it was. Anyway, some good boxers from the 70s and 80s that I remember. Have a good night. Cheers, mate. Wine is fine. Whiskers. I love The Big Show, Mike. I love The Big Show. Kirkland Lang from Chris Baker. Latest Bernard, have a good night. Yeah, we all thought it was real. All thought it was real. Cheers, Chris. Have a good night, buddy. Barry McGuigan, yeah, forgot about him, the Sane. Johnny Nelson, yeah, Johnny, a Sheffield guy. Cheers, guys. Have a good night. I'm going to go and check on my kids, and then I'm going to get some shut-eye after watching Top Gear, if it's any good. Have a good evening, guys. Thanks very much for watching.